Welcome to the 30th Rehab Telethon. Let's look back on how it all began. In the summer of 1991, Gog Meisy, owner of WVNO Radio and WMFD TV, approached the Rehab Center CEO with the idea of a telethon, with proceeds benefiting the local nonprofit agency. The dollars raised would offset the costs of providing therapies and services to those who couldn't afford to pay. Since the mid-50s, locally, the Rehab Center was the primary source of physical and occupational therapy, for services for the hearing impaired, for mental and behavioral health services, and for a sheltered workshop for persons with disabilities. A sliding scale based on family income determined the fees charged. The first telethon committee consisted of Gog Meisy, station owner and executive producer, and Sheila York, general chairman and producer. Jeff Urban, then the new president of Bank One Mansfield, agreed to serve as honorary chairman. He would secure financial commitments from corporations and area businesses. Other co-sponsors were Mansfield News Journal and Adelphia Cable. DRM Video Productions offered their talent in taping video segments. From mid-1991, volunteers met for monthly planning meetings at the WMFD studios. Serving on the telethon committee were representatives from corporations, industry, finance, retail, labor, utilities, service clubs, fraternal organizations, and members of the rehab board and auxiliary. The entire plan for the telethon was etched out over the 7 months prior to the event. The enduring logo, Rehab Telethon, Watch It Happen, was developed and seen everywhere, identifying this new fundraiser. A pie chart, pinwheel shape, detailing the hourly format with carefully timed segments was designed. Success stories and testimonials were pre-taped along with most talent offerings. Within the small studio, a stage was constructed and a colorful, electrified tote board was built to display the hourly pledge updates. In the upstairs conference room, Sprint laid in 8 telephone lines so phone bank volunteers could receive pledges. Remote phone banks were set up in area communities such as Bucyrus, Galleon, Shelby, and others. Notable community volunteers were lined up to join WMFD's TV personalities as hosts. They would interview community guests and introduce talent segments, success stories, testimonials, announce pledge updates and station breaks, and keep the timed 12-hour telethon on schedule. There were no teleprompters, so all announcements were read from handwritten cues on poster board. With the great pre-telethon promotion and advertising by WMFD TV and WVNO, together with the Mansfield News Journal and Adelphia Cable, the community at large watched on TV at 10 a.m. on that cold, snowy, but sunny Sunday, February 9th, a booming voice announced,
"You're watching TV 50 Mansfield, and this is the 1992 Rehab Telethon."
The months of planning had come to fruition, and we were watching it happen. TV personalities from WTVN Columbus and from CNN Atlanta made remote appearances to encourage pledges.
The Rehab Center of North Central Ohio provides help for stroke victims and other much-needed services. I'm Lynn Russell, CNN Headline News. Your pledge today will guarantee that these services will be available for area residents.
Miss Ohio 1992, Robin Meade, well before her HLN program, performed in person that day. The Blues Brothers appeared, much to the surprise and enjoyment of the at-home viewers. All day donated food to nourish volunteers, community guests, and the production crew poured in from area restaurants. Small pledges and large were called in throughout the day and evening. The community was witness to its own generosity. At 10 p.m., the final tote board read $45,924.
We're not sure whether or not we were going to make one phone call, the phone ring even one time. But if you follow this, it's rung and rung and rung time after time for the last 12 hours.
Truly amazing for the first Rehab Telethon. As subsequent telethons were planned, improvements were made. The phone bank was relocated to the stage in the studio, promotional banners were hung in the downtown, and new brochures were designed for pre-telethon mailings and promotion. Other fundraisers were organized, such as the Snowball softball game and the Arctic Golf Challenge, both held in February. Brr. Very chilly but popular events. Readathons, ride-a-thons, rock-a-thons, bowl-a-thons, car washes, and bake sales drew attention and added to early pre-telethon dollars. For the next 4 years, the interest in the Rehab Telethon grew. In 1993, donations totaled over $55,000. And by 1996, the community again demonstrated its exceptional support boldly, with a new level of nearly $73,000 pledged. Having outgrown the small TV studio, the 1997 telethon would be broadcast from Center Court, Richland Mall. With advances in technology, Rob Micey, the executive producer, moved the event to the larger venue. Better sound and lighting, space for an elevated stage to be shared by the TV host and the phone bank volunteers. Live talent offerings could be enjoyed by the mall shoppers, and the TV host learned about teleprompters. The years that followed brought a change in hours and a Saturday time slot. Entertainment in the wings, within the mall, and during the telethon added fun events for kids and families. Grotto clowns, SpongeBob, and a petting zoo were among the attractions. By 2010, the region saw a changing environment relative to the medical and emotional needs of the community. The mergers and integrations of local organizations and agencies sought to preserve access to those same services for everyone seeking them. The Rehab Center and the Center joined forces and became Catalyst Life Services. Together, now under one identity, the organization addresses the growing need to offer programs addressing child, adolescent, and adult mental health and crisis, substance abuse disorders and addiction, vocational programs, audiology, and deaf services. In this 30th year, we introduce another first, a virtual Catalyst Rehab Telethon. Bravely and with confidence, we adapt to new circumstances. Faithful viewers will recognize much of the same format: TV hosts, local talent, community guests, success stories, and so on, but now virtually. This look back reminds us of the volunteers who joined this adventure 30 years ago, and to this day, they lend their time and talents to make a difference. Gog and Jean Micey, Rob Micey, Jeff Urban, Sheila York, Nancy Cummins, Karen Byerly, Mary Riedel, Dave Dameron, and so many others. Together, we salute the many businesses that donated generously and laid the foundation for other companies to recognize the unmet needs of the community and pledge their support. To our faithful public, our donors, we thank you for 30 years of unwavering support, adding up to nearly $2 million. Wow, what a history. So now, let's kick off the next 30 years.